Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us today for our fourth Fast Forward with Forever training. Today, you are going to learn how to very easily host your own 1-hour Facebook event. This is an excellent way to grow your customer base. And as you know, our goal this year is to grow your customer base by 50%. And we're giving you many tools to help you do that. This is just one of those tools. And I'm very excited to have with us today Terry Cave and Sherry Meisner. Both of these incredible ladies have been hosting these events and have really developed the Facebook event into a 1-hour event. And they have perfected it and are here to share with us and help all of you learn exactly how to do that step by step. So Terry Cave is an executive ambassador. She's all the way in Australia, and she actually joined me very early one morning to record her portion of this training. And you all will learn so much from her. And then Sherry Meisner is a senior executive ambassador from Chile, Wisconsin, and she is going to be on live with us today to help give you a demonstration of exactly how to set up your Facebook event. I also want to give kudos out to the home office marketing team, Megan Blondo, especially who's worked so diligently to put together all of these memes and a very thorough instruction sheet for you to use when hosting your event. Also, a big thank you to Sherry Meisner, who allowed us to really take the exact event that she's doing and brand it for forever and roll it out to all of you. So Sherry, thank you for all the time and energy that you've put into creating this event and also for being so open to allow us to use it and share with the entire field. Let's go ahead and get started. Terry, thank you so much for being with us and recording this since you're all the way in Australia, getting up early to do a recording with me. You are so committed, and we're just so thankful for your relationship with Forever and your expertise and sharing the vision of Forever all the way over there in Australia. So I know these ambassadors are going to be excited to hear what you have to say and the accent you have to say it in. So thank you for being with us.
Thanks so much, Shelley, and g'day everyone from sunny Australia. We're enjoying some really warm weather while most of you over there are enjoying the snow. I'm excited to be here today to have the opportunity to speak with you.
Excellent. Well, let's go ahead and get started. I know that you have had some good success in hosting Facebook events, so I've got some questions I want to ask you. So the first one is, why have Facebook events worked so well for you? And just tell us a little bit about your experience with them.
Okay, so for me, I found the Facebook events work well for me as I can invite people from all over the world. They don't necessarily just have to be based in Australia. It really helps with people who are working different hours or working shift work because there's a flexible schedule that you can set and it's easy for people to understand. And to attend as the events are all based on numbered posts which anyone can go in and follow and add their comments to. So if you can't make the scheduled time, it's simple for attendees to go back into their past events and to actually participate in the event so that they're still learning. And you know, they're able to participate and ask any questions that they may have that come up during the presentation.
So what is your main goal and objective when you are hosting a Facebook event?
Okay, so I started hosting the Facebook events as an information sharing tool for my team members to help them increase their knowledge and their confidence about Forever Storage so that they could then go on and facilitate their own Facebook events. I do a lot of networking, and I found that by inviting people that I've met at the networking events or I've had referred to me by family and friends, it's an opportunity for me to educate them about what we offer at Forever. And I try to get as many attendees as possible connected with the free 2 gig account and get them to set up the app on their phone or or their tablet. So that's what my main objective is.
So how many people do you usually invite to one of these events? And tell me about what you do to prepare for the event before it even begins.
Okay, so when I'm setting up, I run different types of events. So with the storage in particular, I invite my whole team. And once because I set the events up as private events, and when I'm doing them on my own personal Facebook page, but in my team page, I will set up an event for the whole team so that they can attend. And I run that as more of a training session so that they feel like they can come on and ask questions to clarify answers before we actually go into a private event, which is when we have customers attending. So I decide on the theme for the event. So it can be storage. I may do one specifically about the app. It can be an introduction to Forever, Forever Print, or artisan and digital kits. So I try and vary them. Our main focus here is getting people interested in the storage because that's the core product that we have available.
Absolutely.
How do I invite people? If I've met them at a networking event, I will always call them or send them a text message. I set up the event as a private event, as I mentioned, and I will invite people that have expressed an interest in any of my posts on my business page. And then until we had the template developed by Home Office, I would always set up a run sheet so that I knew that I was covering off the key components that I wanted for each of the specific events. So I have those run sheets available and ready to share with my team. But now that we've got the Facebook event templates almost ready to go on the training site, I'll be looking forward to everybody being able to use those.
Excellent. Well, you have really utilized Facebook events in such a big way, and I love the creativity of you hosting different events based upon what you want to be selling and what you want to be showcasing about Forever, and depending upon what deals are going on. I think that once people begin doing the basic Facebook events, and yes, you're right, we are going to be providing all the templates, and we'll go through that today, of a basic Facebook event, they can learn to branch out in the similar way that you have as well and host additional ones in the future. I love to hear what you've done, and the fact that you are hosting these first with your team is really, really smart as well. And then I believe you're saying that your team is also on your Facebook event. Is that correct? The one that's to the public so they can kind of help comment. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay.
So I will, if I'm doing a private event on my personal page, I will put a notification on my team page and invite anybody who wants to attend to come along. The other thing that I do is if my team members aren't quite confident at facilitating their own Facebook events, I invite them to invite their guests along to that particular event.
Excellent.
Just so that we can build their confidence.
And I like the idea of having a large number of people, because I think the more people at the event, the more interaction, the more comments, the more exciting it is, and people are seeing what other people are doing, and I think that's a really positive thing too. So I really like the idea of bringing your team together to do these events. Something to think about.
Yeah, and we can learn from each other. So I find that I usually pick up a new tip during each of the events, and that's from learning from those that are part of the team and that are actually utilizing the services that we have.
Awesome. That's great. Thank you, Terry. So do you do tickets, prizes, and giveaways at your Facebook events? And do you think that's valuable? And if so, what do you give away?
Yes, I do. So sometimes I do tickets for people who are participating and, making comments in each of the different posts and providing their answers. Sometimes I do prizes, so the prize may be, a gift certificate. I will offer an hour of my time to help them get their account set up, so that they understand how easy it is to actually get started in their Forever account.
Oh, that's a great giveaway.
After I've shared that's after I've shared the videos with them on how to do that. I give them an hour of my time.
Oh, that's great. That's a great giveaway. So what Forever products do you generally showcase during your Facebook events?
And one of the things I've learned from experience of doing the events is not to overwhelm people with a whole lot of different items that we have available on our platform of products. So typically I hit on what's available in storage.
Do you find that people are ready to buy after the event?
What I found is if people get what Forever is about, they will usually be really keen to get started. However, as we know, it usually takes a few touches or contacts with people to go through what the storage is about. So that's why I find with the majority of first timers that are learning about Forever, that's where my objective is to get them onto the trial account and to get them using the app as the starting point. I always do an individualised follow-up to gauge their understanding of the product offering and what their priority is to move forward with the urgency or the importance for them of getting their memories secured. So I'll always know if they've not set the app up and they've not completed the task, because I'll get a call for help, particularly when they've lost photos due to a technical issue.
So what steps do you take to follow up with those who attended your event?
Make sure that when you are following up with people, they are utilising the trial account and they have added the app to their phone or their tablet and they are doing the auto sync.
Excellent.
By doing that and by checking back in with them, that's adding another touch point with them.
Right.
And it's also part of, our customer service and follow-up. I like to remind them that the information is available in their past events.
Good.
So within a Facebook group, you can always go back to the event under past events. Yeah, and I also do an email follow-up. So if I've rung and left a message for the customers and I haven't heard back from them, I'll always do an email follow-up just to see if they have any further questions.
So do you have any other advice that you want to give to the ambassadors as they prepare to host their own Facebook events?
Yeah, I do have a couple of points. So the first is, as we've kind of alluded to, check on the training site for the template which is being developed based on our experiences to date, and they will be ready for your use soon. If you have any specific questions, always check in with your upline. They're really happy to help you out. The one thing I found is I don't try to cover too many topics in the one event. Try to keep it to the hour mark.
Okay.
And the other thing is let people know that when they come on, when they're accepting the invitation to the event, if they state that, they can't make it at that time, let them know that it's the type of event that they can join at any time or a time that suits them and they can still fully participate.
That's a great point.
Yeah, one of the other things is you don't have to have all the answers. So we don't want you to MSU or make stuff up. It's okay to respond to a question with, that's a great question. Let me get back to you on that. Now, this actually does two things. You've created another contact or touch point with that person, and it shows the customer you don't have to know everything and how everything works, which is a bonus if that particular customer may be considering becoming an ambassador. You're actually making yourself duplicatable that way.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and then I guess once you've done a couple of the events, you will feel, a lot more comfortable about it, and they really are fun. You can have a lot of fun with them.
Now we're going to switch gears here and talk to Terry Meisler, and I do have Terry on live with me today. So Terry, are you there?
I am. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Excellent. All right. Okay. So let's go ahead, and I've got a few more questions that I could ask you. They're a little bit different from what we asked Terry, and then I'm so excited to roll out and showcase the actual event and the images and have you teach them exactly how to do this. So let's go ahead and get started by just asking you a couple of questions that are going to help them with their 1-hour Facebook event. So first of all, could you give us some tips on inviting and getting people to your event?
Absolutely. This definitely is the most important part, and you should spend a lot of time on it, because if you don't get people to come, it really doesn't matter your event. So you certainly can email people an invite or post it on Facebook, but I always just want to remind people that I look at email and Facebook posts as like advertising. A lot of people don't reply to that, but it's really in the personal touch that is going to get people to come on. And so I really encourage, certainly I post it on my Facebook groups, and I certainly will email it out. Don't get me wrong, I do. That's good. But people, when I follow up with them personally, it's like, oh yeah, I saw that. Tell me more, right? So I want to make sure you spend your time on the personal messages, texting, email, calling, face-to-face, and just say, hey, I thought of you because I thought of you, and tell them why you thought of them to invite them. It works well. Great. This event has been working well for me for first touch people, to give them an introduction of what is Forever and how it can benefit them. It's also great for a second and third touch if people just want to see a little bit more. Maybe the first touch, you didn't share too much with them. You just shared one thing, and here they can get a better image. So I think it works. You can invite people at all levels, and then also share why it'll benefit them. I'm having a 1-hour fun Facebook event, and I thought it would benefit you, and then share the reason why you thought of them. It's tomorrow. You do it from the comfort of your own house, from 8 to 9 in your pajamas. If you want to join us to hear more how I can help you, or Forever can help you with your photos. But really just keep asking questions to them and show how it can benefit them. If it doesn't work, like Terry said, you certainly can invite them, ask them if they're intrigued to hear more. So would you like to hear more? And if they say yes, just say, well, I have a couple ideas. If you'd like to hear more, I can either invite you and you can catch up on the post later, because they'll be there for 5 days or 7 days, and they're all numbered, so you can walk through them. Or how about we meet for coffee? Or how about, we screen share sometime? Or how about we set up a time to chat? Like what if we just set up a time? So make sure if the date doesn't work, you ask them, would you like to hear more? Or do you want to hear how I can help you? Because usually they do. I definitely have my best luck when I personally invite people 1 or 2 days prior to the event, or even the day of the event. And the reason being, if you invite somebody a week out, they don't really know their schedule. And to be honest, people, and I myself included, don't want to commit to something. They're not sure if they can attend next Friday because it's a week from now. But people know their schedule that day. Hey, do you got plans tonight or tomorrow night? People know their schedule, and then number 2, they won't forget as often. But I think the key is that when you're inviting people to your Facebook event, you have to invite them personally first. Don't invite them to your event. Don't add them to your event and then tell them you added them. It's not good practice. It's annoying when people add me. And the other reason is that if you invite them, they're going to see the posts come up. And since this is a 1-hour Facebook, there's a lot of notifications that'll come up. And if they didn't want to be invited, or this is not the right time, I find you could turn people off if they're not sure what this is all about. So invite them personally with your words first. And when they say yes, they'd like to hear more, then go to your event and add them. Does that make sense?
That does. And that's great advice. And I love how you said, when you're inviting someone, tell them why you've invited them. And I know for me, out and about in my days, I'll hear somebody say, oh my gosh, I can't take another picture on my phone because my phone is full. Or, somebody just returned from a vacation.
So when Sherry's saying, and let them know why you invited them, you could say, hey, I remember your phone was full the other day. I really want you to hear about how Forever can help you with that. Or I know you just got back from a vacation, so I'd love for you to come to this Facebook event so I can show you how Forever can help you manage and organize and preserve all of those photos. So I think that's
you can also, I think, share your experience with Forever with them. So you don't have to be the expert like Terry said. So I found something that has really benefited my family and how I got all my pictures in one location, or how I got conversion, old media converted. Like, I'm so excited, and I thought of you. I thought maybe it could benefit you too. So share your experience and how it's benefited you and tie it to them, because it'll feel more authentic. It is authentic when you're sharing your experience.
Absolutely. All right.
Yeah. And then I always tell them that if they have a friend that they would like to invite, so after they say yes, you can say to them, do you have a friend that might also benefit from this information? Because it's always more fun with a friend, right? Who do you know that might also want to hear this?
Absolutely. Excellent. Okay, so what kind of education do you need to give to people who are not familiar with Facebook or Facebook events?
A lot of people will say, oh, I'm not free, or I have something going on, and I just remind them that it's from their house. I remind them that there's no phone call, so they're never late to the event, because they just can pick up whenever they can. I've also found that people aren't sure, like, after you invite them, and even if they click going, the day of the event, they're not sure even where to go to find that event. So either send them a screenshot of clicking on events, or just send them your Facebook URL, which I'll show you in a second how to do that. Encourage them to click going. And the reason they'd want to do that, like what Terry said, is that if they click going, it will show up in their past Facebook events. So even after the event is done, they could still go back under their events and go to past events, and they can still reference the information. So that's the real benefit. But like I said, even if they don't click going, they're still going to see the post. So that's why we only invite people that want to be invited, but also even if they don't click going, it doesn't mean they're not watching. So just kind of know that. And then just remind people to come. And especially even if you can do it 30 minutes before, send them a quick text, say, hey, can't wait to see you in 30 minutes or hear you in 30 minutes.
Excellent. And you're going to demonstrate both of those things, how to click going and also how to send the URL to the event. I'm going to show you that in just a moment. So, Sherry, once your event is over, what does your follow-up look like?
Yeah, so like I just said, every person you invited, even if they don't click going and it just says invited, you don't know if they're watching your post. Some people don't feel comfortable commenting. Some people that's just how they roll. So you want to make sure that you follow up with every person you invite. And that's why it's another reason it's important not to just blankly invite 50 people, because no one has time to make 50 calls the next day, most likely, right? So hopefully I would probably say, 5 to 10 people is what you can definitely follow up with. And if they haven't had a chance, you follow up with them, remind them that the post will be up until whatever date it is, and then ask them when they might have had a chance to take a look, and then make sure you put it in your calendar to follow up with them, after that. And you also have to remember that you're not bugging them. These people had asked you to invite them. They wanted to be invited. They said yes to you. They are interested. Probably the date didn't work. Life does happen. So give them a couple days and then follow back up with them. I definitely believe our follow-up fortune is in the follow-up. It's where we always sell. It's where we share. But more important, it shows the service that we give and who we are and how we're going to help them. If they can't, right away, I ask them questions when I follow up. So I'll say, what's the one thing you heard or saw that would benefit you? Or what surprised you? Or what caught your attention? Or, have you gotten your 2 free gig account yet? So just kind of keep asking questions when you follow up to see where they lead. I also, when you see the event, at the beginning, we kind of ask people where their photos are at. And at the end, we kind of talk about, maybe we're going to show this, like how they see themselves taking action. And those are really good notes to take and think about while you're making your follow-up calls, so you can connect with them that way.
Excellent. And, Sherry, one thing that you said, these are people that want to be here. So it really depends on how you set it up and you queue it up. Like Deborah Dharma taught last week, people that are signing up for her classes are coming, they're ready to get something done, and they're there to learn. and that is, kind of like a bird in the hand. Like, these are people who are ready to go. If you are just blanketly inviting everyone you know to these Facebook events, then that's not going to be the way to speed up. But if you're inviting people who want to be there, then it's going to be like these little, almost like classes, right? They're coming to learn, and you're giving them basically a presentation through Facebook in a very easy environment. So really think about it like that, being very strategic in your list of people who you're inviting, that this is an event where they're gathering and getting information as opposed to just a blanket to inviting, 100 people.
Yeah, and even if you have 3 people there participating, that's great. I think 3 to 10 is a great number. It's doable. You're going to be able to give them the service and meet them where they're at. So don't feel, because it looks kind of funny too when you get invited to something and 450 people have been invited. It doesn't make you feel very special and wanted. So make sure when you invite them personally, it makes you feel like you really did think of them. So.
Yeah, that's a great point. Thank you. So Sherry, what additional advice do you have for the ambassadors before we move on with the rest of the presentation here?
Yeah, definitely the posts that you're going to see in a little bit, tweak them. They may sound like me. They may not sound like you. So definitely don't feel like you have to copy and paste exactly. You can make them your own. There's nothing wrong with that. In one of the pre-posts, I say, if you have to walk away to tuck in your kids, the best thing about Facebook events is you're never behind. Just work them through at your own pace, and also remind them that, especially if they're not real comfortable with Facebook, that the posts are going to come in fast. And I think that's important, so people that are sitting down for that hour don't lose attention and walk away. So I strategically do, but I just remind people that if they come in too fast for you, don't worry. You just get to keep working through. They're all numbered, and you get to work through at your pace, and have a lot of fun with them. I try to reply to as many as I can, or for sure at least hit like or love on all of their posts. And even if I have to go back and do it, but I try to comment throughout as much as I can. Also, if you have a smaller group, say you have 3 or 4 people attending, you might have someone planted, like a team member or a friend or family. And what I mean by that is no one often likes to make the first comment. In any Facebook, I believe that first comment is the hardest one for someone to make. Because I don't want to look, like they don't understand or whatever. They don't want to just put their name first. So, if you can just have someone until it gets going to make that first comment, what I found is then everyone comments. So you also might want to print a hard copy of what we're going to show you in a second so you can kind of have it in your hands. And the last thing I want to share is that this summer when I started doing these, this past summer, I had no clue. I had no clue how to set up a Facebook event. I had no clue about really anything. And I just thought, I'm going to do this. I think this is important. I need to learn. And I just really challenge you. Right now you're thinking, I've never done this before. I have no idea how to do this. I'm completely clueless. I really encourage you to watch this next part even again when I show you exactly how to do it, and then just jump in and do it. Because sometimes I just think with my heart, no, I want to do it, and then I sign up, and then I'm like, okay, now I got to figure out how to do it. And I certainly don't know all the ins and outs of Forever Facebook events. I'm sure I could learn from you guys too, but it's working, and they've been very successful, and I encourage you to jump in and try it.
Absolutely, and we've made it so easy by giving you every single thing that you're going to need in order to do this. So just follow Sherry as she leads you today. Again, like you said, rewatch if you need to. But I think that this is going to be a really easy way for people to share and sell forever, no matter if they feel comfortable selling and sharing forever or not, because it's going to be given, and you just put it out there on your Facebook. So let's take a look. So first of all, Sherry, can you go ahead and just explain this to us?
Yeah, absolutely. So you're going to need some sort of invite. I like to have a visual every month. I make another one. This one actually Melody Whitehead made, and I kind of stole from her. I love that we all share and steal from each other. I kind of tweaked it for me. But we are going to make, or Forever is going to make us a branded one that's general. Something about Scott Photos Get Organized is something short and sweet. That's what I like. But then you would just type in your date and your time. So something like, should I invite you? I think something like this you could post on your Facebook group, your client Facebook group, or maybe even your personal one. And then you would just type in the comments the date and time. So we'll make a general one for you. I've always made it a new one every month just to give it a new look, but I certainly don't think that's necessary. And then also when I, text somebody or I, Facebook message someone after I kind of get the, should I invite you, I'll include this because a visual is always nice.
Absolutely. All right, so let's talk about your preparations for a Facebook event. How do the ambassadors need to be prepared? Let's just talk through a few of the things that that you do. So let's go through the tasks. So first one is add a photo to the pre-party post. If we've given two options to that pre-party post, there's two images. I know the image that you use, Sherry, has a picture of you on it. So we are giving people the option to have that first pre-party post image with a picture of you on it or without. So if you're an ambassador that uses Artisan and you want to pop that image into Artisan and put a picture of yourself on it, there's a space to do that. And if you're an ambassador who doesn't use Artisan, that's fine. We've given you an image that does not have a photo slot on it. So that's kind of what that is. So if you were preparing for this event, you could say, I got to get that slide ready with my own photo on it. And then the second point was with regards to the area, Sherry, where we're asking them to share a link to either a photo or an album for their own Forever account.
Yeah, so one of the posts we want people to take a peek, kind of experience the Forever account. So if you feel comfortable sharing a curated album, maybe just have a small album that has 10, 15 photos in it. Maybe have a story told about it. Have some tags in there, or you can just pick one photo to share. So just kind of know which photo you're going to share and have a story on it and a tag, just so they can kind of take a look. So you want to get that ready. Like, what are you going to share? So when you're ready to make that post, you have it.
Perfect.
And then I post every 3 to 5 minutes, but you have to follow your guests. So some of them have really quick answers, like post, click on an emoji that describes how you're feeling right now. And that will take 1 second for them to do. So if you only have 5 guests on and all 5 guests click their emoji in like 1 second, certainly you don't want to wait 5 minutes before you post the next one. And that's why I don't post that's why I choose not to just post live, not to work ahead, because I kind of want to wait and see, where people are and if people are following. Because sometimes you can post the next one a minute later, and sometimes you need to wait an extra minute. But relatively, I tell people every 3 minutes a new post is going to come out, so they need to refresh often. And if they do fall behind, not a worry, they just work at their own pace. So, and I'll show you how to copy and paste. And how I handle tickets and prizes for my team on. You may not want to know this, but I believe this is, as a leader, I invite my team to join me to learn, and in hopes that they then want to do a Facebook event with their team or their clients. And so my team is welcome always to come on mine, and they are also welcome to invite their new guests, right? And so to be honest, I give for every comment that is made in my questions, so every time a person comments, I give them a ticket. But I only do it for the new people, not my team, because we want the new people to win, so not my ambassadors. So, and I'm sure they would agree with me that they want their clients to win. And then I do it the next day. So I don't worry about writing the tickets that night by no means. I always say I'll be posting the winners tomorrow. That gives me time to go through and pick the winners. If you have 3 to 5 on, I would say one $5 or $10 gift certificate is more than plenty. If you have 5 to 10, you maybe want to do like 2 $5 gift certificates, and you have to make it work for you.
Absolutely. Thank you. So how do you keep track of individuals' interests and needs? And then I want you to hit on, what their interests may be.
Yeah, so everyone's going to come in at a different place, right? So at one of the beginning posts, we say something like, where are you with your photos? So you're going to want to use that. And at the end, we talk about, like, what one thing how do you want to get started? And I think those are really key things to take note of and record, especially when you do your follow-ups. They have that information there. So you can follow up with
and
those.
And here's that slide that you mentioned.
Yeah, that's one of the last posts you'll see. So when you follow up with them, you can so easily say, I see that you said you wanted to get started with media conversion. Tell me more. Tell me what do you have to get converted? What memories are trapped away on old videos? So get some stories in there.
Absolutely. All Right. So could you talk about for just a moment the sign up process? And these are the two images that we're going to go through that they're going to have when the sign up process happens. One clearly is what they get for a free account, and the other one is how to log into the phone app. But Sherry, if you could just talk a moment about the process. I've put the copy here, so this is where you simply copy and paste, what Sherry's going to teach and talk about in a moment. But if you just kind of talk through this process with them, because this is really the key piece, having people sign up for that intro account and get that app on their phone.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is what you're going to copy and paste for Post 11. And I say after this fast-paced Facebook event because I don't want them all going out to get their account right at that moment. Because number one, they're going to come have questions, and then it's going to like stop the whole Facebook event. So I always say after this guy's Facebook event, let's get you signed up because they're going to get that $10 coupon if they're new to use in the next 30 days. And it's a great follow-up tool when you follow up to remind them of that $10 coupon, especially if they say they're interested in storage or conversion or a book. You can use that as a talking point that they have that, and to make sure they download the free app as well. So if I have team on here that have also invited clients, I don't ever want to just give my personal website because I don't want my team clients to be accidentally going to my website and connecting to me. So I want to be conscious about that. But if you are doing this only with your 3 clients, for number one, please put your personal URL there, your personal, so Sherry Meisner at forever.com/ambassador/Sherry Meisner. Sorry, I said that wrong. You know what I mean. But otherwise, I tell people just go to forever.com. Number 2, click on Discover Ambassadors in the upper right and search for the name of the person who invited you to this event, because this is the person that will be your ambassador and will be there to answer your questions and offer your support. Then click on the green button that says Save as Ambassador. So they are connected to you. And that's so my team's clients are connected to them and not me. So that's really important. And then click on Sign Up Free, follow the prompts, and your $10 will be emailed to you. And then they can go get the Forever app and log in with the same email and password.
Yes, thank you. So those 2 big pieces that she went over that are good takeaways is, 1, remind them that they'll get a $10 coupon, so when they purchase storage or the media conversion box, they can use that $10 coupon. And then number 2, it's vital to make sure that you are their ambassador and they recognize that they need to select you and hit the green button so they can save you in their program or in their Forever account so that you can follow up and help them each step of the way. All right. So now we're going to move on to the actual training of how to set up a Forever Facebook event. Sherry's going to take you through on the computer, and then we're going to go through what the event looks like and all the different slides. So this is really where the exciting part comes and the beautiful marketing part that Megan Blondo from Forever worked so hard to put together for us. So when you're ready to download all of the memes and the PDF file that you're going to be copying and pasting from, which is the instructions, they are found on the Ambassador Training site. I'm going to be posting this link into the forum, but it will also be under the training site on ways to share Forever. Okay? So I'm just going to show you as the example what's going to happen when I click on this link. So when I click on this link, it's actually going to take me to the Forever account. That is the Ambassador Training Forever account. We're beginning to put a lot of the images there because it's an very easy way for you to grab them and download them to your computer. So as you can see, it says, here you will find all the images for your Facebook event as well as the PDF of the instructions. Be sure to download this album to your computer. So once you click on that link, then you're going to be able to select all of the files, right? So you go from here. So now they're all selected, and now I'm going to hit download, and that's going to download them into my downloads folder on my computer. Okay, so that's what I want each one of you to do when that's there. It has not been posted yet, but we will be posting that hopefully later on today. Now I want to turn the controls over to Sherry, and she's going to give you a demonstration of setting up your 1-hour Facebook event. So give me one moment here to give the controls over to Sherry.
All right, can you see my screen now? Okay.
Yep, there we go. Oh,
Okay.
cute puppy on there.
Okay.
Okay,
So
now
when
you
you
take
hit
it away. This is the
download,
important part.
so when you hit download, they are going to go into your downloads tab. But just for ease, I decided to put them on my desktop so you could see them easier. So you are going to download the images, and they are going to come in a zipped file on a PC like this. And if you are on a Mac, you're just going to double click to per se unzip this, is how we call it, or extract them. Or if you're on a PC like I am, you can right click and say extract all, or you can double click on it on a PC and you can see the images here and you can say extract all. And basically that just allows you to have the images pop up on your screen like this. So I just did it twice to show you to save time. So then all your images are going to be saved here. So if you're going to do Facebook events monthly like I do, it might be just a smart idea to pull them on your desktop and you know where they're at. And then as well, you'll have your PDF here. Oops, I'm sorry, I put it here for you just for ease. So you'll have the PDF that we will copy and paste from for the event. Okay, does that look good, Shelly, so far?
Yes, excellent. Mm-hmm.
So you want to have both things available. You want to have your, oh dear heavens, I got trying to move this all. All right. So we are going to go to your home screen here, and we are going to set up a Facebook event. Well, there I am, right? So what you're going to do is come over to your Facebook page and click on events here. Okay, it's on your left-hand side, and you can see this is the one I just did last week, and it's still kind of going on, and we'll talk about that. So you're going to hit create an event, and you're going to say create a private event. So here you're going to choose a theme or upload a photo. So we're going to upload a photo because Trevor made a fantastic one for it. Here it is, event cover image. I'm just going to click on that event and say open, and it's going to pop right in there. Here you're going to want to type in a short, clear, concise name. That's totally up to you. I often been using Got Photos, Need My Help. I mean, pretty clear, but you can change that. I would recommend you just keeping it short and sweet and to the point, maybe the word photos in there, something like that. But if you're maybe focused, you can want to get organized. And then here, I usually just write online, at your house or something like that, or in your pajamas or wherever you are, setting the date, you'll set the date from wherever. So usually I set out a week ahead. So you can start it and then run it for I don't know, a lot of times you can go up to 2 weeks. So I think 5 to 7 days after is plenty long to leave it open. So set your date for giggles now. I'm just going to leave it like this and then set your end time. So I'd say 7 days later and just has to be. And then your description here, remember they told us. So we just come back here and add this following description to your event. So all I have to do is right click, drag and copy that one, right click and copy, or Control C or Command C, and then come back to my event, and all I do is paste, did I not grab it? Oops. I thought I grabbed it on accident. My apologies, try again. All right, and then paste it into there. Okay, you want to let your guests invite friends. Remember, you're going to encourage that, and then you say create a private event. Does that make sense? Did I show that well?
Yes. Great
Okay.
example here. Great demonstration.
Okay, so here we are. This is where now no one's been invited yet, right? This is just me in here. So what I want to do is I want to make a post so when people come in here, they already have something to read. So here we go. This is my first post that you're giving me to do. So when you post this when you set up the event, and so you just right click and copy this or Command C, come back to my event, and I paste that into here. And you obviously want to change your date, right? And you might have to do a little bit of this. I like to maybe leave some spaces here, so you kind of read it and where it makes sense to you, and give it some paragraphing like this. And then you're going to just say add photo. And again, they already, hit the plus sign. And this is my event setup post. So I simply click on that one. Move this this out of my way, and then say open, and there it is. It's going to show up down there. And then once I kind of make this look like me, and you might want to read it and tweak it, like I said, that's okay. And then just say, oh. So when
so feel free to edit that. Feel free to edit it if you want to add anything specific about yourself or your event that's different. So that looks great.
Yeah.
So when they come in,
so now when
not
they
only
come
see
in,
the description and the first post.
Yep. So here's the description. So now you just have to invite. Now remember, I've already talked to these people and they want to be invited. So all I do is simply say invite, choose friends. And at this point, those people that want to be invited, you can invite them here.
Oh, thanks.
And you can, you're welcome. Or you can click on them and you can find, and then you say send invite. So then, or you can put in their email, okay? I guess I've never done phone number, but I guess it says you can. So now she has been invited. And now you'll remind Shelly to hit going so she can make sure she can have that in her event. Because you can remind her that here's my past Facebook event. So if I hit going, those will show up there. So I just keep inviting as I'm talking to people. So usually I'm inviting people one or two at a time as I talk to them for this week prior to my event. And like I said, I always do my best inviting the last couple days. That's when I go hardcore. Here you can see who's coming. You can click here and you can see I'm going, and you can see who said maybe and who is invited. But like I said, if I start making posts, even if Shelly doesn't say going, she's going to get notifications for these posts because I invited her. So even if she doesn't click going, I still need to follow up with Shelly because she may have peeked at the post and maybe she just wasn't in the location where she could comment, or maybe she just didn't feel comfortable commenting. I still want to follow up with her and provide that customer service. And I also want to follow up with those that they can't go to see if they do want to hear more. Oh, good. She's coming to my event. I just got a notification.
I did RSVP. There you go.
Yeah. Okay. So I think that's about it, huh? If you made a mistake, you could edit your event here and edit your description or your date or things like that.
Absolutely. Excellent. Okay. So let me get the screen back from you. And then I'm just.
And so maybe I should show one. Maybe I should show one more, Shelly. So when I'm ready to make the next post, I would just go back to the PDF, right, just to show, and then I just copy and paste, and then go get that picture that's correlated with it to post in there. So you just continue when the event starts. In a second, I'll show you. You just keep doing that.
Perfect.
Okay.
That's right. So that PDF where you're copying the text, that photo that's there is just showing you which photo to go find. But you've got to go find that photo on your desktop or in your downloads, wherever you have access to it. I just wanted to show what happened when I got your invitation.
Okay.
So under my notifications, it said Sherry might have invited your event. When I clicked on that, that's when I was able to click on going. I had the option to say going, not going, or not interested. And so when I clicked going, this is what came up. So now I'm able to find this event when I'm on my list here to go down to events, and I can see that this is the new event that's going to be coming up on January 26th. That's the new one. This is one that Sherry just recently hosted that I went to. So that's
and I forgot to show them how to go into find the URL. Some people aren't going to know to go to their event like Shelly just showed you. So if you just go into that 25th and just show them how to copy the URL that you could send someone directly right there.
Right. So I would just go to the top and grab this URL at the top, and then I would copy this exact piece and then give that paste back to someone in a Facebook message or on an email, and then they would just click on that and come right here.
Yeah.
Is that correct, Sherry?
That's what yep, exactly. I found people don't know where their events are. They may have said they were going a week ago and then they can't find it.
So when you're saying you're going to contact them in the morning or an hour before, just send them that URL and say, here, it's easy, just click here and you'll come right in. So that's very easy to do. Okay, so let's head back over to our presentation. And like Sherry said, she's going to real quickly go through each of these so you can see the flow, and then we'll have a question and answer afterwards. So go ahead, Sherry.
Yeah, so the first one's just talking about the reminder. So the morning of, I'll post this one, and I really do encourage them to set their alarm. So to encourage them to come back a little before the time it starts. and also you could send them the URL at this time. So in the afternoon then, I post something a little bit more like what is a Facebook event. I said something like, even if you're cooking dinner, tucking in kids, there's no need for a phone call. Just click on this event and catch up as you can. Work through the number post and catch up as you can. And I want people to realize, it's flexible. And then I also encourage them to invite a friend. And if they can't catch it in live, they can always catch up later. This one I post like 15 minutes before, or 10 or 15 minutes before the event. And basically, some people don't know how to use Facebook. And so I think it's really important to post out the refresh, show them how they're going to find notifications, and kind of also show them where the event is. So now that I think about it, it's kind of too late because they're already in here. But maybe for future knowledge. Yeah, otherwise for future knowledge, it may be okay. And then mostly the notifications and the refresh bar. So the next one is...
I just wanted to reiterate that what you're speaking, what you're kind of reading, to going off of the PDF that you're going to have to copy and paste in the comments.
Yeah.
She's just kind of quickly going through so we can speed up and kind of show you what the memes are. So don't worry. Don't feel like you need to be taking any notes as far as what she's saying.
Yep.
All of that is available for you. Okay.
This is all a copy and paste. So what I'm kind of describing is just a nutshell of what you're going to copy and paste into this post. So basically, like 5 minutes or 10 minutes before, basically you're just telling them, tell us where you're from, grab a snack, and we're about to get started. We have some few fun hashtags. So the next one is just 5 minutes before. It tells you 15 minutes, 10 minutes, 5 minutes before, just to kind of get them this is for you. So when you're using your follow-up, it's really good for you to know where their photos are. So I reference this a lot when I'm messaging people as a follow-up. So basically, where are your pictures? Nothing scares me, something like that. And then just a minute or two before the event, this is where Shelly said, up to you. If you're an artisan user and you want to drop in your photo like I have, you can. But if you don't, it's not a problem. You certainly don't have to, or you could put a picture up there of you if you felt needed. Just put it in the next picture. But basically, just kind of the steps for them to understand how this works. The next one is actually the first post is actually a recording of this, we have one in between there. So post one is a video, a 90 seconds is the commercial for Forever. And basically I just asked them to comment what caught their attention. And so they watch this 90-second video and come back what caught their attention. And then this next one is post number 2, and it talks about we're going to start looking at our signature product of storage, and we're just going to say comment below which catches your eye as your favorite. And we're going to and I say I'll share more about these benefits in detail tonight. So we just kind of talk about why I chose Forever and why I chose it, and kind of give them a little bit of an overview. The next one is a video again. It's Glenn Meekum, the founder and CEO, sharing his passion for the company with why he created it, and it's like a 2-minute video. So you will want to kind of take note how long the videos are. So you do wait at least 3 minutes or so between this post. That's important. This next one is this one. This is post number 4, and it just talks about how we're different from Forever is different from all the other cloud storages, and talks a little bit about the Forever Guarantee Fund and what it is, and it asks them to comment if they prefer to own their storage space or cloud space, or they would like to rent their cloud space. So this is one that goes really fast. They read it and they all type in own, of course. But it's, I think, powerful for them to actually, understand the difference between own and rent. So this one could take a minute, and you can be ready to post the next one. So the next one is post 5, and it talks about format migration and how we went from 35 millimeter all the way, the 110 and all that stuff. And it talks about leaving a blessing for the next generation and not a burden. And all I ask them to do is comment with a thumbs up or a love heart emoji to earn a ticket. So throughout, I do have in there, reminds them to keep refreshing. I remind them that each comment earns them a ticket. I remind them that, just work at your pace and things like that. So there's also reminders in the words that you copy and paste in. Okay, the next one talks about the current web services don't solve the problem. And it just talks about how we're different and that we're secure and private. And I just say, read the fine print and post a comment about what these other companies' terms and service tell you that you don't like. And then I always, they usually come back with really fun, like all the negatives, and I always give them the sad face or the angry face. I try to, instead of liking their comment, I usually put that angry little snarly face up there. So it's nice to either, if I can't have time to reply to their comment, I at least, like I said, like or love or angry face on this one. The next one is post 7, and it talks about sharing and how Forever is shareable, whether they have an account. And I say, who will you share tickets with or share photos with to earn a ticket? And then this is the post where you would share a secret link to either one photo or one album in your account. So they can just take a peek on how sharing works. Like here, I shared an album with you, or I shared a photo with you. Take a look, how it works.
Yes. And I was just going to add, Sherry, I feel like we've been talking a lot about the specifics of what Forever is all about. So it's a good time for them to take a break from it and kind of see something out of the Forever account. So if you've already curated an album that has, maybe 10 or 15 photos that tell the story of something that you did, and you want to share that here on a link, it's a beautiful time for people to really like that moment in time seeing Forever account. So if you don't do that, you can use one single photo, but if you have a story to tell in an album, that's a great promotion. Go ahead.
Yeah.
The next one.
Yep. The next talks about Forever is mobile, and that we have a free app. And I just asked the comment, I'll get the free app, or I have the free app and earn a ticket. And I just said the directions will come soon. So talk about that it's mobile. And the next one is a recap video from Glenn as well, a 3-minute recap video. And then number 10.
Interrupt you for a second,
yeah.
Sherry.
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry. When I put this together, I did not put a screen up to show you the videos. There are 3 videos that Sherry is suggesting to show throughout this, and those links are right there in that PDF. And the link will put the link up in the post. It'll generate a photo of the video that you're going to be showing. So it's going to have like Glenn, why I've done Forever, and there's going to be a picture of Glenn right there. So that's why there's no meme when you're sharing a YouTube video. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, exactly. It looks great. I mean, it says why, and they just click on it and they watch it. So there is a picture for them to see. Exactly. Post 10 is just a fun one. I just thought it was kind of a nice little break, and it's kind of cute. They all love doing that one. Post 11 is the one we talked about already, so I'm not going to go through that, but basically it's the steps on, now that we've kind of closed on like, what is Forever Storage, how are we different, what do we offer, why do you want it, and then this is like how you get it, how you go get your free account. So, 12, we're moving now, so we kind of, like that was our section on storage, now we're moving into conversion, and we also have with this, they get 2 tickets on this one. It says, what's your emoji for a ticket? And then watch this 2-minute video on media conversion. So the 2-minute amazing video that we have on media conversion, they would watch that. So you'd want to give them at least, 3 minutes on that one as well. The next one is also on conversion and getting a conversion box, so how they take care of it. And then it gives them a link to Jack Snyder's account and some images that have been converted for him. Again, giving him a real life example, giving him a peek at like, oh wow, that is really neat how that gets in there. So the next one is about Forever Print and Artisan. So we just talk about there's 2 ways to create photo print books and other photo gifts, and we talk about Forever Print and a little bit about Artisan, and there is the 2-minute video to watch Forever Print. And then I kind of asked if you could have the photo fairy wave a wand, which project or which book would have it in your hands by morning? And it's kind of fun to see, and the reason I asked that is it's another follow-up question when you're calling these people. Oh, you went to Disney? Let's get together and make that book, or whatever they say. You need to use that information when you're following up with them and help them get that started. The next one is the next one actually is a video as well. It's a peek into a permanent storage account, where I feel like now at this point they need to see a little bit and experience it. So what I've made is every month I make a 10-minute video that gives them a little tour of the Forever website, like how to walk around it, and a little peek at my account. And I certainly say this is not training. This is just to give you an overall look at my Forever website. And I am going to record a generic tour that doesn't have my name on it with Shelly this week. And so if you don't feel comfortable making a video yourself yet, just use mine. And I will send them to Discover Ambassadors, and I'll just say, pick the ambassador's name that invited you to watch this or who's having this event. So you actually get to check out, it's usually a 10-minute video. So that's the one, the long one that you're going to want to give them some, you'll need to mark down the time where you left off. And then, if you want to, I print off a hard copy of, per se, the PDF. So then you could write down on each thing maybe what time you posted it. So I'll write like 8:36, and then I'll know I want to probably post the next one around 8:39. And so I kind of write down so I don't forget. So whenever I post, I write the time down. So the next one is how to get started. And it just says, who's ready to get started, which number best describes you. And I love the people that say, all 4 or something like that. And so also on this one, we have ask your ambassador for the current monthly specials, because usually in my tour walk around, I will talk about the monthly specials, but since I'll make mine more generic, so I'll just show them where to go, deals, to see what's on special that month or talk to their ambassador. So, and then the next one is talking about the pricing. I definitely show that in the tour as well, like how to upgrade from their free accounts, but I also think it's good to have a visual. And then the next one is the thank you. Thank you for joining me. I'm here to help you. And I just say that this event will go on for a few more days, so you can share it with a friend that you think might want to hear this, or you can reference back. And that I will be posting, keep commenting. Every comment gets a ticket, and I will be posting winners tomorrow. So that night then I can tally the winners, and the next day I'll post the winner. And then the final post, the final post is just a thank you. And we don't have this in the PDF, but I'm going to talk to Shelly about adding it. I just thought of it. Is here I have, I'd love to be your photo coach or your personal trainer for your photos. And it says contact me to set up a time to connect. If you have events on your schedule, you might want to put your dates there. Or if you want to say, I offer 1 free hour one-on-one that anyone that gets an account, which I do, you might want to put that there. Or let's set up, a free screen sharing if you offer that. So.